Dave.
Yes.
Congratulations on a successful weekend.
Thank you very much.
What do you got to say about it?
Well, it's been we've been on the road for about 10 days. It's been kind of a long week. We started in Memphis, and it was so hot down there. Everybody struggled. There was no air. Larry actually kicked my butt first round, not by a lot. He won a 6:30 to my 6:34, and it was just miserable hot. Hats off to the McBride bunch. We went back to cycle specialist, got back on Tuesday. Larry never took his bike out of his truck. Both Larry and Steve all day Wednesday, from 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. to redo the 2 motors that we heard in Memphis, just so we could make this event with motors. Of course, we thought that Sam was going to be here, Sam Wiltz, and Corey Hogan, and Corey had an accident on the way here, and at least his motorhome did, the Alwines, and Sam actually apparently had a trailer incident on the way to Memphis, and so he couldn't make it either. So the field was a little short, which was unfortunate, but the weekend worked out great for us.
How many 5 seconds passes do you have this weekend?
We had 3.
That's not bad.
Well, it's consistent. Last 3 years in a row, so apparently that's the way it works here.
Yeah.
We had 3 out of 4 2 years ago.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 last year, and 3 out of 4 this year.
Yeah.
Apparently the yellow bike likes MIR.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was good.
The crew seems to have fun working here, but they probably seem to have fun all the time.
It's a work hard, play hard crew for sure. These guys during the day, they work really, really, really hard all day, every day. And, sure, I think everybody knows the Vantine Nitrosports team. When the day is done, which is usually 10 o'clock at night, we like to have a little bit of fun before we go to bed. And everybody needs that. You got to unwind after a busy day.
3 more 5 second passes this weekend. Not bad. How many?
Nope, not me for the heat and conditions.
How many? Oh yeah, for the conditions, it's fantastic. What's it take to get the motorcycle to run 5s like that and consistently in this kind of weather?
Team. Everybody's got to do their part and be consistent. This bike doesn't go down the track with just any one person. Everybody's got to do their jobs.
Yeah.
The second thing is, making sure it's got enough stock in it. When you get in this real thick, heavy air, you got to do everything you can to make it breathe, but also keep fuel in the motor to make it live. These things run better on fuel than they do aluminum. So.
We struggled a little bit last weekend trying to find the right combination in what is probably a little bit worse air than this weekend. And went back to Larry's, took a look at things, and found a way to speed the blower up a little bit. That made a big difference for us. So, once this bike can breathe, and we worked hard on our clutch setup, and we worked hard on our fuel system, and found a combination, found a good baseline, and went from there.
So Friday night off the truck, the bike wasn't making enough power on the bottom end, right? And it sort of wobbled around, and then everything lit up, and it made the...
Well, we're still getting used to the new clutch, the McBride clutch. It's a phenomenal clutch. It repeats, but we just weren't giving it enough. And as we're going on, this is the 4th race on this clutch, so we're starting to get a handle on it. We found where our baseline is and went from there, and we're back.
How's it differ from the previous clutch?
Well, I think it's essentially the same type of clutch. It has the same setup as far as the number of stages and that sort of thing. It's just it's heavier clutch. It's made of titanium instead of aluminum, and it's different. They can be the exact same setup, and they're just different. So it needs a different amount of weights on the arms. It might need a little different flow setup when you're trying to release the cannon. So all of those things combined, it just takes time to
find that baseline.
It's taken us 4 races, but I think we're starting to understand how it works now.
You're going to Rockingham. Probably won't be as bad there in September as the last
Let's hope so.
2 races.
Let's hope so.
What do you think you're going to find there?
If we find some drier air, we'll find faster times and more mile an hour. That's what's holding us back right now is all the water we're racing in.
And then back here in October.
Yeah, and that's when it gets fun.
Yeah.
That's when the air gets better. That's when the track is good, and that's when you can make power.
These guys, Royce and all them, and Royce and Mark and Fabian and Jack. I mean, this track is amazing. And 144 degrees on the track, and it's still, you know, pull your hips out of socket. Like, you can't find many tracks that are able to do that. So I mean, this MIR is just a top-notch facility to begin with. So it's, I mean, it's like we're the lucky ones to come here and race. Really.
Right. In October, maybe it'll be 3.580s instead of 3.590s.
There's a lot of work by the team. Like, we really put in effort in these last 2 weeks. Like, I mean, it's not easy to do these back-to-backs. That's for sure. Especially not when you're going from Memphis to here. It's not like going to nice, cool northern tracks or anything. So I mean, the crews put it in. I mean, the track was there. They did a phenomenal job. There was people in the stands. I mean, what more could you ask for? Elmer Trett Nationals. I mean, low ET of every round of qualifications and eliminations.
Track record for speed.
Track record, mile an hour.
That's right.
Trett
That's
National.
right.
I mean,
pretty good weekend.
Not many boxes left unchecked after this one. So.
No, it's unfortunate that some of the other racers couldn't be here. All the best to Chris Hand.
Chris Hand.
And recovery, and all the best to the L-Wines for getting back together after a serious accident. And Sam Wills, he wanted to be here, but he had some trailer trouble too. So it's just one of those things. But all in all, great weekend for us. Couldn't be happier.
Greg, tell me a memory that you have of Elmer.
You know, I met the man several times, and but back when I was racing funny bike, it was more of one of those things where you're just more in awe of him. I'll tell you a funny story. The very first time I went to a Pro Star race, I went there with Jim Mangus. We were there with our funny bike, and I was helping Jim Mangus squirt alcohol. I think it was gasoline. This is 1994. Squirting gasoline in the cylinder in the blower to get him started. Didn't really know what I was squirting in there, but he just let to squirt it in until I was done. Made it all the way to the finals. Raced in the finals at the U.S. Nationals against Elmer Trett. Really didn't understand the gravity of the situation I was in, but had fun doing it anyway. So we lost, by the way. Elmer won. So that's what my memories use. You know, quiet man, but had a big presence. So.
One of those people who doesn't say much, but when they say something,
people listen. That's for sure.
Anything else, guys?
It's all go to eat my egg.
Thanks to MDIR, and great weekend.
All right, I'll see y'all in September.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Tim.
Yep. Dave, do you have a good personal Elmer Trett story?
I do, actually. Wow. Probably about 25 years ago, we were at the banquet. I've never met Elmer before, and we're standing outside.
This would be the Pro Star banquet?
It was the Pro Star banquet. I believe it was in Bradenton, Florida. And we were at the Holiday Inn, and Elmer was standing outside. The people were getting up there, and they were talking, and it was tough. So I thought I'd excuse myself for a minute because I knew I wasn't going to be up for a little while. So I just walked outside. And who was standing out there sort of pacing in the lobby as well was Elmer Trett. And I go, I said hi. And Elmer's kind of short on words. And he goes, these things really aren't my style. And I go, yeah, it's, I said, I needed a minute myself. And we had a nice conversation. And that was my first time that I had talked to Elmer at length, one-on-one. And it was a great experience. I got to know him just for about 10 minutes one day.
Were you the Promon champion that particular year?
That was so long ago. I was the Pro Gas champion.
Gas champion.
I was.
And what did you talk about? What did he say?
I have to say he's a man of little words, and we just kind of commiserated about
stage fright
events and just sitting around in rooms at banquets, and it wasn't our cup of tea. But so we have that in common, and at this point maybe got a little top fuel in common.
Was anybody wearing a tuxedo at the banquet?
I don't believe so. No, I think we were in blue jeans, and I actually had a button-down shirt on, so I think I was doing pretty good.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, 25, 30 years ago, yeah.
All right, cool.
I'd like to thank all of my team at Vantine Nitrosports. I mean, we've been on the road for 10 days. These guys have worked in the heat all day, every day. It's just grueling, but they've stuck it out, and they've done a great job. Always like to thank the Vantine imaging employees back in Hamilton, New York. This is how it happens. Without them, obviously, we wouldn't be here. As always, the McBrides. Like I said earlier, they worked 12 hours straight on our stuff. And I want to say, this tribute to Elmer Trett this weekend, what an honor. What an honor. 20 years, that he's had since he passed. And that's why we're here. I mean, Larry and I really didn't plan on coming here, frankly. And then it turned out to be a tribute to Elmer, and there's not a top fuel racer that wouldn't want to be here for that.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
Tim, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate everything you do. Known Tim for 100 years. Eat my inks. Best thing going.
100 years. Has it been that long?
It feels like it some days. What can I say?
Yeah.